Okay, one down, three to go as far as the finishing off of these. I don't know. I hate to call these preliminary kind of layouts, as they're pretty complete looking in themselves. But with some of the, I don't know, the latest things we've been playing around with, glitters, the additional reflective types of materials. I don't know. I look at my pieces and there's these little kind of tweaks that can be done to them that maybe I didn't consider before. I'm talking about before, like maybe, even I don't know, 3 months ago or something like that. After you see some types of things in your pieces, those little tweaks. And for me, it's a lot of like little refinements. You can't really forget what you what you've seen. So I'm going to try some little elements in here of glitter, okay? And we'll see how that goes. Okay, so first I'm going to add some extra star textures in here with the white acrylic paint pen. This is a 0.7 millimeter. And it just goes in and it adds back into the scene some of the contrast that I have lost by going in here and toning in this case, the star birth stamp. The Dr. Martin's kind of a splatter painting application in here would probably be a little bit better, but I'd be splatter painting right over the top of some of my silhouette desert flora. So I'm just going to add this in by hand, and I mean, it certainly doesn't take too long. It takes, I don't know, whatever, like a minute to add these little dots in here. Okay, so that is the white, and sometimes we want to go for a little bit of extra dimensions. So these days with the acrylic paint pens, we have so many choices of different colors within a certain hue in terms of value and temperature. So we have a little bit of a warmer green. This is a warm, pretty warm green, but it's more of a medium value. You can get these sets. I have the Artistro 42 set that I really love. These pens never seem to clog on me. The inks or the paints are a little bit. These days I find that these and gel pens are a little bit watery. Okay, but they're opaque enough to where they work. But in terms of placing light over dark applications, but they're a little bit watery so that they don't clog on you. You pretty much use them up to completion, which is, for me, a huge amount of usage. Okay, we don't want these, if you don't use them for, a couple months or something like that, or maybe in some cases, maybe I haven't used certain colors maybe in a year, I don't know. But they still work when you need them to work. Some of the ones that are a little bit more opaque, I haven't tried the 0.7 millimeters, the ones that are like really opaque. But I have tried the 3 millimeter ones, and you get a really opaque, super dense concentration of that pigment to binder ratio, pigment to, in this case, water with the acrylics. And they kind of dry on the tip and they clog a little bit. So it's like a little bit more short lived, but the actual paint itself, when it's flowing, is kind of a higher quality. But that's the trade-off. Unless maybe if you're using them all the time, they won't dry on the tip and kind of crust over. But again, that's the 3 millimeter, kind of more the felt tip ones. Okay, so I'm going to add in my quote on this. I feel that it needed some sort of kind of a focal point. There isn't really a strong focal point in here. Once I had the glitter or something like that, I added the eagles in my previous scene. That worked out really well. I didn't want to add it in this one though. just to make them a little bit different from one another. But I do like adding in these quotes. I feel that, or word stamps, it gives them kind of an added dimension and visual interest. You know, anytime you have something written in on a card or on a visual, you know, people go right to it and read it. And I'm going to do this in gold. I probably kind of lean more towards silver normally, but I need to get another silver re-inker. Hit the like and subscribe. Yeah, it might help out with the views, and I buy more media to test out and utilize. Okay, so let's get this stamped out. Sorry about my head. With word stamps, you really got to get them placed correctly, otherwise they're going to be going off at an angle or something like that. Now, if I ever get these quotes or word stamps, you know, really kind of crooked, what I do is I just, you know, I'll stamp out my quotes or something like that on the separate piece of paper, and then I'll mount it on the scene, and it really does look better, but, you know, it just takes longer to do. So I just try to get it right on directly onto the scene. So there it is right there. When it's darkest, we see the stars. What I like about this gold paint is that it's kind of, you know, a little bit obscured in some ways. So, you know, it's only when you kind of angle it like that. I really like that right there. Looks pretty cool. Sometimes, you know, these reflectives look a little bit different, you know, from scene to scene. It depends how dark it is in the background. Maybe what color it is in the background, too. Sometimes I like it a little bit more than others. I really like this one, though. And I mean, if it was in white and just completely standing out, I think that would look fine, too. You can emboss it. But I do like that aspect of it. Not that it's like better than the others, but I do like that look of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto a, you know, some kind of gold matting around it. Okay. All right, now we need to bring some visual interest into this area. I mean, it is supposed to be, you know, really striking. And I do think we've achieved a lot of depth in here. But I do think that we can kind of increase the look of it, or maybe the impact of it. You know, that starry area. Kind of in this case, it's a break within the clouds where you can see that coming through like that. Let me get this little star right here a little bit brighter. Some of these larger stars. I'm going to go back in with the white paint pen and kind of increase the intensity right there. Or not the intensity, but the value of it. Now, normally I would kind of add in some little highlights onto these clouds around here, like little dot highlights. But I think that I just like these. I don't know. I think maybe it would get too textural because it already is fairly textural, and it's going to get even more so with the glitter here. I need to make sure this glitter, when I tap off my glitter, doesn't get onto my wet word quote stamp up there. Okay, so I'm just going to be pretty what's the word? Sparse. I'm going to add a fairly sparse application here of the glitter. Okay. I don't know, maybe I made those dots a little bit too big. Sometimes it kind of builds up on there kind of thickly with this type of, this is a chunky glitter. Let me see if I've even used this one before. I don't think I have. I need to open up this. I never know if I'm supposed to keep this or you have to toss that. I guess you're supposed to toss it because this is a shaker cap. Okay, here we go. Okay, we got that light. Actually, it looks kind of good just with that entire trail of it like that, I think. Okay, just remember to, we're going to take this and shake it downward like this so it doesn't get all over our word stamp up there. And like I thought, I think I added too thick of a dollop of glue. Sometimes when you do that, you get a like a clump of that glitter on there. So I just take a paintbrush and I kind of manually remove some of it like that. Some of those smaller pieces around in here, I'm gonna leave it on there. And then when I spray seal it, it'll lock it down. But I think that looks okay like that. Let me see on here. There's like, see right on here on that dollop of glue, there's like 5 pieces of glitter. The little hexagonal kind of large pieces. So I'm gonna take some of that off. You can see that the different colors on here. This is like a green right here, but this is a holographic glitter, so you get some different colors on there. Well, like I said, I like some of it. I like some of that fine glitter. Let me see if I can get some of it on there. All right. I've been saving like every little bit of glitter, but I don't have too much here. I'm just going to toss it. Okay, let me see. All right, so you get that little kind of twinkly little aspect of it. It isn't kind of overpowering though, like that. It's just like, say that one right there is illuminated, or if I angle this off, you see that one kind of flashing right there? At some angles, you see a little bit more of it. But see, it's not really like an active shine I'm finding with glitter. And I kind of like that, okay? In other words, it's not kind of reflective all the time, you know what I mean? Like glitter, twinkling like that. But you have to kind of interact with it. And then these pieces come alive. It's like little, I don't know, to me it looks like little lights that are illuminating. Let me get some of this off of my surrounding area. I don't want my Joshua trees. That. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside and I'm going to spray seal this. It'd probably be a better idea, maybe, if I kind of spray sealed before I added that glitter. I don't know. Maybe the spray sealant will lock down that glitter even more. But then I'll allow that to dry a little bit, and I'll format this into my card base, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, we're formatted here. We're spray sealed. I just used a workable fixative, which dries really fast. A triple thick might have been nicer, but it dries a little bit slower. Not too much slower, but you can see that glitter wasn't affected by spray sealing right over the top of it. Look at, you can really see them where it's been added, like that. But see that right there? It's like really obscure, and I have a lot of light in my on my desk here, so I don't think it's like an obtrusive type of addition. It's just like, I don't know, that these little things like that just kind of get activated like at the right angle to light, with the glitter. It's not a super thick slathering of it or something like that, which I have nothing against, but, for a scene like this, it just wouldn't be appropriate. Okay, so that being said, with the glitter and the reflectives like that, I don't know, I do like, at some angles, I just see mostly green, but then at other angles, it's that more holographic aspect. There's slight reds in there, but I don't know. On this one, it does look like it's, primarily green. Okay, but I'm going to add in, maybe a little bit extra, whatever, dynamics into this with some gold, little stars. And the gold is going to be, for the most part, it's kind of a darker dot, except for when it's reflecting that kind of strong light at certain angles again. And that gold might tie. You can kind of see it coming alive right up here. Like, see those three dots right there? How they're kind of, and then they're kind of obscured like that. The glitter really kind of reflects a lot of light. Then that gold, it's in like maybe 50% or something like that. But I think that looks pretty good. Let's do one more thing. Okay, clear crystals. As I look at this, I'm thinking, and being that we're going this far, why not? Let's go with a couple of I don't know, maybe more than a couple, but let's go with a few little clear crystals. The clear crystals are really fun to use. Fun to use, very effective in terms of a light reflector in cards, scenes, whatever. You see them mostly advertised for nail art, like fingernail art. Okay, I'm adding in kind of the larger ones here. The largest of the smaller ones. There's like various sizes in this little kit here, but I figured let's just go for that kind of slightly larger one. Let me see, did I get them all? Sometimes you can't remember where you added those little dots of glue because they look like other kind of like little white acrylic paint pen stars in there. All right, so I've kind of dispersed them like that. Now these ones I don't toss out. You just go on your finger like that and just kind of put them back in there. Okay, so that is it. Let's take a look here and see what we have. All right, so there we go. When it is darkest, we see the stars. See, we got that little twinkly, and kind of reflects and kind of twinkles. I'm looking right through here. Kind of reflects different colors in there too. Different maybe intensities of reflective light. I think that looks pretty cool like that. I like when I go like this right here. It's like a wave, of light going across the page like that with the stars though too. See that? I mean, you can do other things too. You do like little glow in the dark, little dots in here or something like that. If I was to make this into a glow in the dark, though, I think I would go a little bit more intense with my, I don't know, whatever the glow in the dark editions. I would probably add some things up into my clouds. You really have to add a lot of those types of powders and glow in the dark paints, I find, to make them really effective. You don't want it to charge up. You don't want to have charge up in light, for however long, a few seconds or something like that, 10 seconds. And then you flip off the lights, and then that glow in the dark result lasts for like 2 seconds or something like that before it disappears. So you have to kind of add a decent amount of it down. So, but you could, if you want to do those little things where you have some little glow in the dark out, colors in there, something like that. You flip off the lights, and if they might glow for a little bit more time. It might be kind of cool. But anyways, okay, so I like those little additions on this one. They're pretty simple additions. There's just little additive types of things with glitter and the stars, and of course the formatting always makes a card look nicer. And again, I think that word stamp up there provides kind of a nice, kind of additional, but maybe even subtle focal point, focal landing point. I think when people read it, though, you don't really go back to it again. And they just enjoy it for down here. So it's kind of a lead in or something like that. Maybe they kind of enter through here, they go up and read that, and they come back and kind of just enjoy those little twinkly elements like that. And that's the visual path of this one. And those are my additions right there. Doesn't have to be, specific, exact right additions or anything like that. There's, other things you can always do to pieces. My gold around here probably would be better if it was like a iridescent type of gold, like a Star Dream gold, because it would match the lettering of this a little bit better. But this paper right here is like really inexpensive for metallic papers, and Star Dreams are really expensive these days. So I'm kind of hoarding those ones, but I would use those, a lot more in the past, especially when I get them on like clearance sales at my local Kelly Paper. But anyway, look at those stars in there. Shine like that. Glisten, glitter, shimmer. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks as always for tuning into the Stampscapes channel.